Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay. You're not been able to hear a word I'm saying, no? Okay, we're okay now. My apologies. So this is just that one new account. Now, I know it's a bit more of a risk, but it is just that one account, and it's on 0, and it is a nice correction. We got a channel up with a correction, so I think it's worth holding on. If it takes me out, it takes me out. I'm not bothered. As it is just that one account. This is probably the safest place to be, I think, in this. We'll see. A lot of times it will go sideways, but we got a push up sideways. I still expect the push up, so my apologies. So Karina, how you doing? Daryl, how you doing? S, good morning. Speedy, good morning. Sig, good morning. Yeah, this is just that one account I picked up yesterday. It is a bit sideways, so that's fine. I think the position's nice. And because it's a nice correction, I fully expect it to get to the top. If it does, obviously push above this. I think it will. There's a bearish bar there. It's triggered, so hopefully it pushes up. We'll see. If this does push up strong here, I might add a contract and bring the profit down to the top here. I want to try and get the same amount of points out if I can. I'm going to take a risk here. I know I shouldn't move me stop, but it's only on one account, and maybe this will push up. We'll see. I don't mind taking a risk. It's just a one account. Now, I generally don't move my stop, and I wouldn't do if it was my main accounts, but as it's just this one new account, I don't mind risking it. If it works, which I still like to think, Rhythmic, working via Apex, working everyone this morning. I've got no issues. I've got no issues. I'm surprised that didn't work. I really am. I'm going to risk this account. I'm just going to see what happens. $10K was 7 bars up. Due for a pullback. Yeah, it is only one account. It's just that brand new account I've got. So I don't mind risking losing it. It's only the one. I still got 19 left. They're all getting up reasonably decent. So we'll see. There is kind of, it depends where you look. 2 legs down, pullback. Hopefully we still test it. I'm surprised that didn't work, actually. So add another payment approved, another $500. As you can see, that takes me up to 9,100. I've got 2 more accounts that are due for a payment on Thursday, I think. So hopefully that should give me my first $10,000 month. So hopefully I'll get my new monitor today, finally. They really messed me around, Amazon, have I got to say. The only issue I have is a second entry here, so see what happens. I may get out of this. I'll see. It is kind of 2 legs down. We haven't made a new high after this channel, so I still expect it to push up. Hopefully we may trap some shorts and push up. And I know it's a risk. It's not the most sensible thing to do, and I shouldn't really be showing this on live stream. But as I've got 19 accounts, I'm trading them extremely careful. It's just this one new account. So I think it'll work. And I think it's worth holding on. Now, sometimes it just, I think really 2 legs down, a little pull back and another leg down, kind of looks like a measured move. Devon, how you doing, buddy? Now, I went over the 750 risk, so it just means when this account eventually hits its target, they'll just make me trade another 8 days. Don't do this at home. Yeah, don't do this at home. Maybe a hidden second entry there, but we'll see. I still think we're going to push up, make new highs. Just wish it'd hurry up. Slow volume again. Back to slow, yeah. Come on, push. That's what I'm thinking. I don't mind risking it. See, the way I see it is if I get that up to, say, $500, now I paid $125 for this account, so I'm really risking losing $125. And even if it makes me $450, I've quadrupled my money. Now, I wouldn't do this on one of my other accounts because they've got money in. At the moment, it's on 0, so I've kind of got nothing to lose apart from the $125 the account cost me. So I don't mind taking a risk. I've done this before. Most of the time it works, but it's not something I'm going to make a habit of. But as it's this last account, this account number 20, yeah, I think it'll break these areas. If we can push up a bit more, there'll be stops there, and I'm dare say 2 legs up there as well. So I think it's worth it. It may go against me, but it's one account. 19, are going to be fine. So we'll see. My bars are way different. Oh, crikey. Oh, my good grief. That didn't work. That's going to blow the account. I'm guessing. That was a really big drop. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Perhaps there is a bigger channel down. Who knows? Not sure about that. Just thinking, I don't think this is going to continue up, so I'm just trying to think the best way of getting out of it. Probably somewhere about here. So there's always a no, that would have worked. That would have gone up, wouldn't it? I wish it'd hurry up. I'm going to do there is just put that there just for now, just in case it does push up quick and takes out any stops there. I don't think it's going to push up. I mean, it could. Depends how you look at it. What's it come down? Come on, push. Should have done this later if I was going to do it rather than early. So someone's got that like that with a break and a new low. Mm. So it could be a break 2 pushes to a new low. I suppose we're testing the overnight highs. See what happens here. Rely on a bit of luck here. Yeah, we've got overnight highs here. I'm guessing overnight highs somewhere, something like that. This is going to work, is it? So channel break 2 pushes to a new low. I don't know. It's just not looking very bearish to me, bullish to me at the moment. I'm really surprised that didn't work. I suppose the only, well, I've gone from there to there to there, and it really, it looked like a nice channel. I like the correction. Now, bearing in mind, the correction went for, how much did it go for? It went for 2.5 points thereabouts, and then dropped. I'm really surprised that didn't work, because there is a correction and a higher low. I don't quite know why that didn't work. I've gone from here, touching here, touching it. It's fitting there perfectly. We had 2 legs back and a push up. I think Mac will definitely mark it, because it clearly made a scalp, but it didn't do what I kind of thought it would do, oddly enough. Hence the risk, or hence the silly risk. I mean, you could say a break and an attempt. Normally, we'd make a couple of attempts. That doesn't look like it to me. Just relying on a bit of luck here. I took that risk. I thought it would work. As I say, I wouldn't have done it on the bulk of my accounts. It's just on this one new account that was at 0. So let's call it a tactical risk. Trouble is, we could be waiting here half an hour for it to do something. That's if it does. So I'll go rely on a bit of luck. So the trouble is, you could put that there. It may still be fitting. That's the trouble. Hey, Ben, how you doing, bud? move and take a walk back, like Brooks says. This is a Walmart trade. What does Dan call them? What does he call them? What does those trades he call where he just decides to jump in? I forget what he calls them now. Just have a go trades or just chuck 'em trades. What does he call it? Screw it trades. This is one of those. Oh, crap, we got some news coming up as well. You never know. I might get lucky. We'll see. And yes, screw it trades. I think this is long past a screw it trade. I'm just relying on a bit of luck here. If you've just turned up and you're seeing what the hell is this loser doing, I wouldn't trade my other accounts like this. It's just the one new account. I've had 19 on and off. Well, I've had 19 for a bit. They're doing really well now. And I just took that one. I like the trade and I'm surprised it hasn't pushed up. So I moved my stop and just thought I'm just going to take a risk here. I'm risking the cost of the PA. It's $125 if I can get something out of it. I was questioning what was going on. Yeah, I'm just being stupid on this one account, mate. I don't trade my other accounts like this. So I'm just relying on a bit of luck just to get up there and retest these. If it gets anywhere here, I'm just going to get out. I am surprised it hasn't tackled those. What's its... isn't like you. I don't generally do it, to be fair. It's just because it's a new account and there's 0 in it, and I was looking at that. I'm really surprised that didn't work, the account. It looked that nice, the account. But what I will say is we're testing. There's definitely some support resistance here, so hopefully there's a bit of a bounce, enough to get me above break even. But we'll see. Trouble is, there's always a possibility of this. So it may break and it may continue down. But I mean, you would think the way to do that would be off from here to that swing. In which case we've had 2 pushes down to a new low, and it has hit support. So I'm just going to play my lucky card today. Well, that's if it does turn out to be lucky. This is the other Lance, yeah. I haven't had a whiskey today, that's why. I'm not sane yet. Hopefully if we get close to it, I'll just get out of it. I'm guessing it's gonna test this area up here. One would think so. Okay, we've got some news coming up. Perhaps the news might push me where I need to be. Got a minute and a half for the news. Okay. It's quite a strong push up off there, hopefully. It's not looking good, is it? Trouble is, if it is like that, this just may be pushing down to hit a new low. So I'm in the lap of the gods here. We got this news coming out, so that might make me or break me. We'll see. Let's get ready on the close button.
Order filled.
I've hit the reverse button on this. Not the best thing to do. It's so easy to blow an account if you hit the reverse button. But that is a big bearish bar. I've really screwed this account up, to be honest with you. It's down 1300. No, it's still up. I've just reversed it. I just saw that push up. I think really this thing just doesn't look like it wants to go up to me, so I'm relying on it coming down. We pushed up, we had a big bearish bar, so I'm guessing it's more likely going to go down. So how much am I down on this? 1250 at the moment. If we can get down to those bottoms, I may get lucky. If I can get down here, may get a lot of this back. It's down 1,000 now, so if we can get down to about 1,200, we'll see. There's going to be liquidity down here, see, so I'm relying on this coming down. So it's at 13 now. If I can get around about 3, if it takes these liquidities, I may get break even or close to it. That's where we need to get ideally. I reversed it. This to me is just not going up. And then we push up with a break new high, big bearish bar. This thing really for me is just going down. Now, if it gets, there's a bull bar there, a higher low there, and a failure there. So if it can get down to around about here, that'll get me to break even. Then I'll just come out of it and count my lucky stars. So where are we now? Okay, so we're looking about there. So 10 points would get me back to break even. That's if it does work. Maybe a leg and a leg down. Once we break these areas, that should get me back in the game. I'll just close the trade then. Okay, excuse me just 1 second. Sorry about that. Come on. That's the trouble when you get into this silly stuff. It take half a flipping day to get back to where you want to get back to. Could be a channel down with 2 attempts to push higher and then a drop. Getting close to that stop out level now. That's the trouble. The only thing I'm relying on now is 2 attempts to push higher, followed by a drop. I just can't have it go much higher, otherwise it's going to blow the account. I think I've got about $500 left in it, so I've got a bit yet. As long as it doesn't get much higher than this, you could consider this a triple test. So let's just see if I get a bit of luck. What I will say, leg down, 2 pushes up. If that does reverse here, I'd expect to get down to that bottom then, and maybe below there as well. So probably should have done is got out there and got back in there. I don't know, still alive because the drawdown is moving. Yeah, I think I've got about another $450. So I can get above here, but no more. Hopefully, trap this long and then decide to come down. We'll see. I'm in the lap of the gods anyway, so Getting close now. If it doesn't turn now, I've had it. Just goes to show you, sometimes even luck you just don't get. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. It's okay, but I just had one new account and I took a risk, a second entry along, and got myself into it with it. I took a risk and it just didn't work, that's all. What I will say is it's cleared out any liquidity here, so it's hard to say. I thought that may turn, actually, but it's going to blow this account, I think. But that's what stupidity does. But when you don't want something to happen, it does the complete opposite. It's really clever at catching. I don't know quite how it works. Isn't the GAT supposed? No. I've only. It's only just on the one account. This, not my other 19. This is just one new account that I've got. I haven't even attached it to GAT yet. I just took a risk. I took that 2 legs back and I moved me stop and it got me in the red a bit. So I just took a risk. That's better news now. So channel down, 2 legs up. So hopefully this comes down now. That's a big sell off there. So fingers crossed. I need to get down below here, which if this continues down, I think I will. We'll see. No, I just took a stupid risk, that was all. Don't need to explain that. I know exactly what you're saying. It's like they're watching you put out... Yeah. Just in case anyone's new watching and you know, thinking, what the hell are you doing? Mind you, look at that big bearish bar, it triggers, and now look what's happening. I thought selling there, 2 pushes up and big selling there. I thought that was working well, but it's just doing the complete opposite. Trust me, you know, the odd time you do something stupid, you need a bit of luck. You never, ever get it. It's uncanny. You'd think sometimes you'd get lucky. Doesn't exist. You just do not get lucky. It's weird. It's infuriating sometimes that you think, you know, it's got to either go up or down, maybe just go down this once, but it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking this would be the ideal place for turning. There's a bullish bar there. If this comes down, then we come down. If it goes up, it won't. But I'm saying it's picked off liquidity here, which tells me it may just go up. It's weird. If this blows, I'm not getting another one. I'll just keep the 19. It's just not worth it. That's not so much why I took it, really. I took it because it was just a new account. No, it wants to go up, doesn't it? I can't see that coming down now. I'd rather break 2 pushes to a new high. It would just be nice just to get a little bit of luck on it. So channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. Could say that's a triple test. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher, but it just doesn't seem to want to. If it gets below there, and there, then I may get a bit lucky, but luck just doesn't exist in this business. It really doesn't. That's it, gone. Weird, isn't it? It doesn't matter what you do sometimes, you just... I wouldn't be surprised if it works now. Anyway, that's just got rid of that account. Where is it? Right, let's just forget that now and move on. So, still got showing there. Let me just get rid of that. It's weird. It's weird how it just, you never get like... See, it was long I was testing these highs, and then all of a sudden I decided to change my plan, and then it does exactly the same thing. It's weird, isn't it? Stop. It's only on that one account, mate. It's blown anyway, so I'm not really bothered, to be honest with you. I wouldn't trade me other 19 like that, not a chance. I just took that risk there and moved the stop because I thought it was going to push up, and then, you know, before you know it, but I wouldn't do me other accounts like that. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? You just, it's weird. You think they're if you went long or short, you'd think you would get a bit of luck now and again, but it just doesn't seem to work that way. It always seems to do the complete opposite. It's uncanny how it does it. I don't quite know how it does it. Why is it not letting me connect? It's uncanny how it does it. It's weird. Let's get rid of that then. Let's bend that. No, we don't need it. Okay, let's get on to 17. Let's put that back. Let's just check.
Order submitted.
Buy-in.
Order cancelled.
Okay.
Order submitted.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Perfect.
Order cancelled.
When are you using Jan's buy, sell, close indicators? Are you still using... You on about these? Oh, I see what you mean. I didn't realise they were available yet, are they? Let's see where you took your trade, plot and execution, max toolbar. I didn't know they were ready yet, bud. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this thing here. It won't show at the moment because I'm on a different account. But yeah, it will. Just wondering if there's a spike in channel there. Doesn't seem to show. Let's just put that account back. Oh no, it's not working, is it? Ah, strange. I don't know why that's not working. But yeah, as you say, Jan's got something. I don't know whether it's available yet or not, isn't it? Trouble is it's a bit sort of congested, so it's hard to know exactly what's going on at the moment. I thought 2 pushes. I was convinced this was coming down, but it just goes to show you, doesn't it? Took that second entry long. Yeah, typical, isn't it? So if I'd have left that where it was, it came down 15 points, which would have been a $1,500 risk. More or less came down where I got out, and it ended up going back up to where I got in and I got out now. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? It does look like it's just not getting up, doesn't it? We've gone comfortably past the 60-odd%, and then what happens? We had a break, new low, and then up it goes. It's weird. It's uncanny how it works, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It just does, you know what I mean? You think once it goes so far, that's it. So then you're getting short, and it does the complete opposite. Trying to get into the same thought pattern as Lance. So where's it going? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? There's no kind of rhyme or reason what makes it do something else. Now, we know after a break and a new extreme, it can reverse, but it just doesn't kind of look like, you know, what it's going to do. It's weird. It does frustrate me sometimes why I do that. But can you do? It just goes to show you have to just wait for a setup. If you take a genuine setup, it works. I'm just trying to think why that necessarily didn't work. And we came down and we did have a push-up. And that correction, I've mentioned this multiple times, I prefer my corrections when they're a little bit further apart. That, I think, was close enough to be a channel down, whereas if it's a little bit further apart, so... But I don't mind. That does teach you something. It teaches you if you're going to take that sort of thing without high low. Mind you, we had a high low. You know what I mean? I was convinced that was going up. I really was. It just goes to show things don't necessarily do what you think they're going to do. You know, we got a channel up, 2 legs down, bullish bar and a higher low. Why didn't it work? I dare say there'll be traders who took that and the higher low. See, this is Thomas Wade's chart, and the way he's looking at it, That's the type of trade he'd take. If not, the higher low. Okay, let's see if we get a higher low. And we did. Let's have a look. Where was the higher low? Comes in a minute. 5 inches up below the May. So did he take the higher low there? It never triggered on his chart. It did on mine. So there is a higher low, but it never triggered. Otherwise, I think he'd have got into that. See, on mine, there was a higher low, and it triggered. So I bet that caught a few people out, the higher low. If you didn't want to take that, usually the higher low is the safer option. It's tempting that. It's right off that key entry point. It's only really a first entry, that's the trouble. It's only a point and a half to the highs. I think the bar's okay though. It's off the key entry point. It's not really a second entry or not, but you'd expect it to get to there at least, wouldn't you? Yeah, it's. I kind of wanted to take it, but I kind of refrained because it wasn't necessarily a second. Yeah, I wanted to take it, but I mean, look, we push off there, it works. We push right off there, it works. Sometimes do you make a judgment call? It's hard to say. We had a break and a new low, push up, and we're bouncing here. So certainly looks like it's pushing for these highs. But you got to get out for the tops, really. And it was quite a large bar. Morning, Neil. How you doing, buddy? We kind of had a little bit of sideways there. We broke up, came back, tested that line again, and took off from there. So yeah, you would have got 3 points out of it. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. That's why I took the risk, because it was a brand new account. I actually thought that would push up. Now, thinking about it, it is 2 legs back, but they're quite compact. I prefer them further apart, but then you get the higher low. So that usually then is an indication that it is going to push up. Now, I moved my stop because I thought I don't mind risking the account, because if I can get something out of it, it's only cost me $125. But, you know, when that happens, you are risking blowing the account. And that's exactly what happened. But I'd have never have done that on me. It's weird, isn't it? Once you start to get money in the accounts, that's when you kind of get into protection mode. But sometimes leading up to that, you get a bit silly. But 19 accounts, 20 accounts, it's neither here nor there. I read my bars changed that high or low. I did reload them. Let's do it again. Oh, hold on a minute. I've just got to disconnect that. It won't let me reload them while that's there. So let's try it again. So that high or low. Got stopped out. Yeah, I thought it was okay, to be honest with you. It's not by far the worst I've seen. Right, okay, so it hasn't triggered it then. It's weird, isn't it? The trouble is, how do you don't know that's going to happen. You know what I mean? You don't know it's that's kind of how it is, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? So ordinarily trading 1 contract, that would have been a, let's call it a 3-point risk. It's about a 3-point risk. So that would have been $150, but that's not the end of the world. Another trade will get that back. So, you know, would have worked for 1 point. That one would have worked for a bit more, actually. That would have worked for 2 points or so. Well, 3 maybe. Yeah, you'd have got 3 points out of it. But as it was a new account, I was riding it to these highs. It happens anyway. Right at the same time. I don't think it was a terrible trade, to be honest with you. As I say, and I have said this a lot lately, and perhaps I need to listen to my own advice, I prefer corrections when they're a little bit further apart. Too close together and they can be confused with a downtrend, and I think that's probably what happened. Now, that's a bearish bar. If that was a bearish pin bar and that wasn't quite so bullish, it may have fitted as a downtrend. It's not terrible. And it fits at the bottom, then we have a break, new low, and then it reverses. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? But you takes the risk. You risk losing the account. As I say, I wouldn't have done it with me other ones. But it's weird, isn't it? If I'd have just left it where it was and let it do its thing, but you never know, do you? I mean, really, we tried multiple. We tried there to push up, strong push down. We tried there. We had a bit of news, but strong push down. So everything's indicating this is going to come down and test the bottom. So instead of then, when I reversed it from long to short, what happened? It went long. It's weird, isn't it? After that big bearish ball, I think this is every indication here. Triple test, whatever you want to call it, is telling us we're coming down to test these areas. And then all of a sudden, that's what I mean. You just never get any luck. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're trading based on, let's see if we get lucky, luck just doesn't exist. And I don't quite know. You think you'd always get a bit of luck. You know, we've all heard the saying, you could close your eyes and click long or short and make money in this business, but you can't do it consistently. But it just seems whenever you took a risk and you want a bit of luck, it just doesn't exist. That's what infuriates me about the markets. Because I can't for the life of me really work out why it never happens. I think you'll get lucky maybe once in 10 times. It's weird. It's really weird. So the best way to get round that and to get the market back is just to take good setups, and that's it. Don't take risks. You know, and if it happens, it happens. You get stopped out. Tradeovate is better. I've used Tradeovate on my funded futures purely because you can trade them together. I've got to say, now volatility's died, there's less setups. Yeah, the risk was a bit higher, but there was more setups. Go one way, if it doesn't work, go the other. I did both there. I went long and then changed it when it looked like it clearly wasn't going long. Changed it to short, and it changed. I changed it to short here because I thought this has got to go down. What happened? It came down a bit and reversed. It's just weird, isn't it? So perhaps that's the way markets are designed to do. As soon as you see this, everyone jumps in to go short, thinking it's coming down, and this pushes up. It stops as it goes up. Sorry about that. But there you go. So I've done better than Alpine this month. He's at $1,000. I've had 9,000. Soon to be 10. I didn't think I'd beat him on a month's profit. I know he's been battered lately with blown accounts. The trouble is he'll move his stop on all his accounts, or he'll trade without a stop. And if it goes against him, he just kind of allow it to happen. The trouble is, when it does happen, it's all right losing one account, but when you're losing them all like that, so this is going to go up exactly where I put my profit. That's what annoys me. If I'd have just left things as it was, I'd have got lucky there. And I'd have been $600 up. But perhaps I didn't deserve it. So I was trying to figure out, I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. That's why I kind of talk about what I'm seeing. I think it's good to try and sort of estimate, for want of a better word, where price is going. Because when you watch them enough, you'll start to know where price is going, or you'll start to have a pretty good idea. But it helps you make trades then. If I think we've got a break here, so I'm looking for a short, blah, blah, blah. So, the more you understand where price is going, the better decisions you'll make. And you'll stay out of bad trades as well. I think that was the biggest kicker for me, staying out. Part of it, it's okay taking good trades, but it's staying out of tricky ones is the bit that's going to help with your longevity. Light higher recovered. That's funny. I was looking at that. Big, strong. What was it, that one? No, it was that one, wasn't it? It's funny enough, Dan's just said there, I was going to say screw it on that bar. That was the one. I was tempted. Trouble is, it's only really a first entry. It was a little bit more bullish before I reloaded, but it's irrelevant, really. Okay, so that would have worked. So weird, isn't it? That channel there, channel with a break, new low up to the top. Perhaps it was just this. 2 legs up, I dare say. If you looked at the 10,000 tick chart, it just looked like 2 legs up. Really? This high would have gone long up here. Trouble is, we're going along there. You know, there's nothing that says it's not going to, but because, you know, this channel seems valid, going along right at the top, usually when prices decide to come back. But I have seen some traders doing that. Now, from a price action point of view, it's not something that would kind of interest me, but you never quite know. People see the market very differently. But at the moment, we're working up that line and we tend to be having these pullbacks when we get close to the top. So you'd naturally think the chances are this is going to come back and retest this. We've broken overnight highs anyway, so there'll be less liquidity up there. So I suppose if you're going to take profits up here because you're not heading towards, you know, necessarily close liquidity, so you'd think take your profits here and that results in a pullback. But green bar you're pointing out. Oh, this one here. Yeah, I mean, the thing going for it, if you like that, you've got a big bullish bar there, worked, that bullish bar worked, that bullish bar worked, that bullish bar worked. So, you know, although there wasn't necessarily a setup there, you may argue it's a higher low. You may argue it's a failure. It kind of is a failure in a way, but I don't know. It's not super clear, but we're going a bit sideways. We broke out of it, come back, probably trapping a few shorts. So you'd probably think that was going to go. But from a Pat's point of view, it's not really a setup. As Dan said, he was going to take it as one of his screw it trades. It doesn't mean you have to follow Pat's by the rules. When you get a little bit more experience, even Mac will say sometimes in a strong trend, if you just take every bullish bar off the key entry point, they more or less work. So, you know, there's no hard and fast rule what you have to do. You can do whatever you want. If you're willing to accept the risk and you think it's worth trading, you'd be daft not to. You know, so don't let kind of people tell you, oh, it's not Pat's, you can't do it. I've heard people say that to me before, oh, it's not a Pat's trade. Well, it might not be a Pat's trade. Perhaps it's a Lance trade. You know what I mean? Perhaps it's something I like. You know, obviously Mac also has his green. He's just got a chart on now. He has his green arrows where he takes more riskier trades. So that's kind of what that is. So there's Mac's channel there. So he's got that one. And then he's got the break. He's got a break here. I kind of did have that 2 pushes down, but then we had a bigger break and came down. But he's got that as a... So if you watch him later, I'll be surprised if he doesn't point out bars like that. Because the way prices go in there, we come down and we push strongly off there. That's the type of trade that will generally still work. So if you know, don't mind taking a riskier trade, it's not so much of a problem. But you know, as it's like anything, as you get more experience in this, you kind of find your own ways of doing things. You may add a few little bits of strategies, or if you notice, you know, something happening again and again, there's no reason why you can't take that trade. If you see something's happening 8 times out of 10, and you're right 8 times out of 10, you might be daft not to you're daft not to consider it. So I won't be trading Monday. I got a hospital appointment, which is the 31st, I think. Yeah, it is. And then our clocks in the UK jump forward an hour, early hours of Sunday morning. So I'll be back to normal next week. I've actually kind of liked trading a bit earlier for once. I'll be trading a little bit more, probably doing an extra hour. I know a strategy where that small range midline, actually a signal bar, yeah. There's a strategy that I see all the time. I don't know why I don't. At some point, I probably will do something about it. Wherever you get kind of like this, what I call a double width channel, something like that, and we're moving up. Whenever we get a bearish bar closes close to its lows, if you just buy there at the close of that bar, 2-point risk, 2-point profit, 1-to-1. Look how often it works. Let's just find another one. This type of channel, what I consider a double width channel. This type of thing. So let's just draw this before I actually have a look and see if there's any trades. Let's just, son of a bitch. Let's just, oh, don't do this. You're frying my brain now. That type of thing there. Double width channel. So I'm looking for a bearish bar finishing close to its low. 2-point risk, 2-point profit. There's one there. Triggered over, straight up. There's one there. It's arguable that, but it crosses over, comes down, pushes up. So there's two there that work. That one I would definitely take. That one, not so sure, probably not. But just goes to show they're just mini pullbacks in a channel. But if you look at that, it's surprising how often they work. Same again there. This isn't working sometimes. Nice little channel up like that. It continues up there. Big bearish bar, triggers over, ticks it, pushes straight up. Same again there. Triggers it, pushes over, triggers it, pushes straight up. And if you do 1-to-1, 2 points and 2 points 1-to-1, same again. I wouldn't consider that a double width channel because in a single width it could come out, but that one worked as well. But I like the double width ones, slightly wider. Maybe there, see, so it traps the sellers in. It's called buy on close. Yeah, someone said it's an Al Brooks strategy, but the trouble is, the thing is, if you sit here day by day, you can't help but notice things. And, you know, strategies never came to us, you know, on templates from the gods, did they? They just came. All a strategy is someone sitting in front of the chart long enough and noticing something does a certain thing at a certain time. And that's all a strategy is. You know, there's no, you know, there's nothing that you can't do, you can't change, or you can't adapt. It's entirely up to you. But that's all it is. So it's called trapping sellers. It's called, we said it was called buy on close. Al Brooks work. I've got an Al Brooks book somewhere, but for some reason it's got absolutely tiny writing. I don't know why. Trading price action chart, something like that. But a few people have said he's got a course which I think is £300 or dollars or something, worth taking. I think a lot of what Mac does is based on him, and someone that experienced, I think it would be worthwhile picking his brains, wouldn't it? You're only gonna, you know, I think the more you learn about price and stuff like that, the better overall all-rounder you become. So perhaps this is just 2 legs up. Brooks list of bars. I saw his review with Brad Wolf one time. Interested. Brad Wolf. I've seen a couple of bits with him, but not just bits of him being interviewed and stuff like that. I've not really seen any of his. You have to pay for his course, I think, don't you? I think he's his best student. I know he's been doing it a long time, isn't it? I do believe a lot of Max is based on Alma. I mean, price action's price action. If you're reading the price, you more or less kind of see the same thing. So I dare say most strategies are very similar. So Max got that like that. I did have that for a time, but then I extended it. So Matt's got that. Trouble is, we had a break, 2 pushes to a new low. We pushed up again and came down and had another test. So that's when I kind of adjusted things. Understand that Albrook's too complex. Yeah, a couple of people said that. It's quite hard to follow. I mean, the best way, really, anyway, is just to sit here and trade every day. Problem with Mac is he only wants to show winning trades. Yeah, I got to say, I remember clearly feeling frustrated that he was seeing a dozen trades plus a day and I wasn't. And it made me feel like I just wasn't getting it. But then I heard him once say he only takes an average of 1 to 2 trades a day, and I'm thinking, well, why? If there's 20 high probability trades, why the hell wouldn't you take them? And it just goes to show, you know, we can all mark. If I look at yesterday's chart, we can all mark trades. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's easy. You know, 2 legs back, bullish bar, worked. Let's have a look. We got a channel there with maybe a break, new low, higher low, trapping shorts. It worked. I wouldn't take it in real time. You know, channel break, 2 pushes to a new low, bullish bar work. It's very easy to start picking. You could say a failure there, trapping longs. It worked. You know, a lot of them are quite questionable, but same again. We have a strong push down. We have 2 legs up, second entry short, big bearish bar. At the time, it's quite flat here. So, but it worked. Same again, second entry short, not a great signal bar, but it's a piece of cake to find them. There we go. There's kind of a big failure there. Bearish bar, it works. But in real time, you don't know the answer to a lot of these until they kind of play out. In Mark way worse trades in worse contact all the time. Yeah, I don't think it helps Trent. Yeah, you know, don't get me wrong. I think he's a good guy, Mac. He's helping traders and he charges them a very small amount of money. I do feel like I'm robbing him, to be honest with you. But you know, it's just to disagree with something and I wish this or I wish that. That's no problem. I'm not saying he's a bad trader or nothing. I just wished. Now I'm a little bit more experienced that when I was a newbie, I wished he'd done a few things a little bit different. You know, we can all see things for what they are. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a criticism. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be about a minute. Okie dokie. So, what's that mic on? So, we got a bit of a channel there. Now we've broken the highs here, so you've got to be careful here. You can argue there's a second entry long there. The only issue I have, one, it's 13 ticks. Two, it looks like a bit of a channel. So it's a break of this channel, so I'd expect two legs. So a lot of the times it'll trigger that or trigger the higher low and come down for a second leg. So I'm sitting tight here. So I'm guessing something like that maybe. So cheers everyone. Oh, trading so much nicer with a whiskey. So I expect that one to maybe hold temporarily, but I expect it lightly, possibly a higher low here, and then to come down, stop out the higher low and stop out that. Now, whether this just comes down now and stops that straight out, it's possible. But if this is two legs down, I prefer a little break in between the leg and then down. So there is a higher low here. I've seen Thomas Wade take these sometimes. Now, it may work. It's not a huge trade, but my guess is if it ends up a higher low, it'll trap traders and then come down for a second leg. And part of the reason is this does look like a little channel, and we'd expect it to have a break, which it has, and then make a new extreme or a new low. There is a possible small overshoot there, so it may work, but I'm staying out of this. I've got caught out going along there more times than I care to say. Let's see if it does end up bullish and see if it traps traders. Yeah. Okay, so just be cautious here. May work. But I'm guessing I'm looking for a second leg down. Not only that, is we've already broke the highs, so we may get a decent pullback or a correction here. Seems like a decent trade. I've taken trades like before. Thing is, we've got a channel down with a break. I'd expect a new stream. A lot of the times people will buy this, buy the high low, and this will come straight down and stop them out. I've seen it so many times. I just avoid those now. But sometimes they still work. So I think if it works 6 times out of if it works 6 times out of 10, it's worth avoiding for me personally. So I've put my legs down there. Yeah, sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it's not terrible. The trouble is, after a channel like that, I'd expect more than just that and a break. There's always a possibility there could be, something wider, in which case it may just push up. I don't really care about if it's a win or a loss. No, but you've still got to... If you see something happening and it happens regular enough that it goes against you, you've still got to, care enough to make the decision to either get into or stay out of it. You know what I mean? It's part of what we're doing, reading the price, and when we think, oh, I've seen this before, channel down with a break. Do you know what I mean? You've still got to kind of make the decision, do I do it? It happened yesterday on a trade. I stayed out of it, came down, stopped that out, and that's how we had that second leg down. Sometimes it'll still work, but I generally avoid these because they tend to trap you more often than not. Disco, how you doing, buddy? You took that second entry long for 6 ticks. Yeah, trouble is, anything... That's what I mean. It depends what you go for, but look at this. What's this doing? Taking that stop out? My guess is it is, because we rarely have a break and a straight push up after such a big channel. Usually we'll have a bigger break, and often it'll trap traders there, push them up, trap them, and then come down. But sometimes it still works. But more often than not, it'll do that. That's why I tend to avoid this, this type of thing. How much do you try to make each week in profits? I tend to avoid any type of monetary target, because really you can only sort of get what the market gives you. If you start having financial targets, what do we do when we've got targets? We tend to, push the boat out a bit to try and, so I tend to, all I tend to focus on is just to sit in here and waiting for a setup that I think is going to work and take it. And the rest kind of just happens organically. So I don't really have a monetary target, I'd say. I can tell you somewhere, how do you stay relaxed about finances? Well, you kind of do. You have to. It's something that just comes. The trouble is, if you're under pressure all the time, to try and make money, if you're under pressure all the time to try and make money, sometimes it's hard and it can go against you. But the thing is, really, don't give up your day job until you're making money at this. Use it as a little part-time gig. But don't give up your day job. And then when you start to make regular money, you'll know. You'll just kind of trust that your skills are enough. There's no easy answer to that, to be honest with you. Sometimes it will just work. But there's going to be 3 lots of traders trapped there. So if we do get this second leg down, it's going to eat a stack of stops there. But sometimes it does work. But my experience is I avoid these. I like to give this channel chance to have a break and make a new low before I decide. So we've got a little double top there, and look where I've put that there. It just happens to be in the right place. Is it going to work? Still might do. But I go for 3 points here. And if I got in there, so if I got in there, I wouldn't have got a point out of that. Now, if you get in right on the nail, it would have to push through, so you'd have got a 1 point out of that. Now look what's happening here. That stop's going to go. What do you think's going to go there as well? Does it look now like we're having this second leg? It still might hold yet. Sometimes it still holds. But if you bought that right at the close, you'd have squeezed a point, because it would have had to. Matt got trapped. I think Matt will have avoided that because of the possibility of a second leg. Now, it may hold. If it gets below there, I think it's game over, because there's going to be people taking that trade there. If it gets below there, I think it'll get below there. And if it gets below there, we'll get that second leg down. You haven't got to worry about losing money. What Laufey was saying, I don't mind if it wins or lose. Yeah, I get what you're saying. You've got to be okay with the fact that if it loses, but if you think it's a trade that's going to trap you, you've still got to, make a decision of whether to stay in it or whether to get out of it. And I've just seen this scenario so many times, and I've mentioned it on stream so many times. I always avoid this after a break. Because after such a fair channel up, we rarely have a break and push straight up. It just doesn't rarely happens. Usually, the bigger the channel, the bigger the emphasis on the break before we push up. So often these early trades, if you're patient and catch it down here, you may get that run up. But often these early trades get stopped out. But, you know, nothing's set in stone. I mean, that was a tick away from getting stopped out. And if that gets stopped out, you naturally think that the dominoes are going to topple. If this trade would have gone up, tested the highs, Matt would have marked it. Yeah, that's the confusing thing, isn't it? But, you know this, Jan. We see this type of thing all the time. Break, trapping a few longs and down for a second leg. It doesn't always work. But you'll know in your own mind whether you want to get into it. I don't necessarily have to think at the moment. I'm not interested in counting. All I'm interested in is looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture to me is 2 legs down. But these just look, they're kind of in the middle. If you look at this, they're kind of in the middle. And I think they're just easy targets. I think even Thomas Wade took that one. That one there, he goes for 10 ticks. If this gets below there, it'll push down below there, I think. But we'll see. But I just base my, interest in a trade just on experience. I'm looking at this picture and thinking this picture is telling me to be careful because we could get a second leg down. It's even more riskier now because it's now going sideways, and when it goes sideways, that changes the dynamics a bit. But it still may go up. But when it gets that close, we're a tick away from stopping that out, and then if that happens, then it'll topple, I think. So for me, it doesn't matter whether this worked. The right decision for me to leave that alone was the right. The decision to leave that trade alone was the right one, because now it's going sideways. So chances are, if I took that, I may have got out around here. Once it starts to go sideways, that reduces the chance of something happening. Congestion, it doesn't work. So the thing is, it's not necessarily congested. Now it is, but you're already in the trade there, aren't you? So it's just one of those things. So that one's gone now. That one will go next. Sometimes it'll hold if it's a strong enough position. It is sitting. It's gone now, see? So that's what I mean. I've seen this picture 100 times and the rest, so I always avoid this early stuff because this is where traders get trapped. Now, if you'd have taken that one at the close, you'd have squeezed a point. If you'd taken it where Mac takes it, a tick above it, very, very doubtful you'd have made a scalp there. You'd have got trapped. But I get what Jan's saying. If that would have pushed right up, Mac would have put it as a high low. But take my word for it, the bigger these channels, the more we get a more of a substantial break. In this case, it's 2 legs back. It rarely drops out and pushes straight up. If it does that, usually because there's a bigger channel. And I can't see a bigger channel here. Absolutely, but you get used to doing this. The more you get trapped in trades like that, you get trapped in trades half a dozen times like that. Next time you see that picture, you'll avoid this stuff. See, it said they got 6 ticks out of it. I'm guessing they got in on a limit order because if you got in the normal place, which would be a tick above there, you wouldn't have even got a point. So if Thomas Wade got in there, and that's the type of trade I see Thomas Wade getting in. Unless he got in on a limit order, he would have lost that trade. Sometimes he'll show us his trades. Let's have a look. I don't know if he took that or not. Someone's taken it. Have they taken the higher low? They took the higher low on a limit order, but they've got their profit. up here somewhere, so they got stopped out there. Well, tell a lie. Yeah. Yeah, that was a losing trade. I don't think Thomas took it. No, he didn't. By the looks of things, anyway. Break even +1. See, once it starts to go sideways, that's when I tend to usually want to get out of a trade. Thomas did take it. He did take the higher low. Now, would he have got out there? No, he'd have lost that trade. So I'm surprised he took that. That's something I see all the time, and I talk about that type of trap all the time. So he got in at where was his profit? 83.75. 83.75. No, that's not right, is it? That's not. I think he took that first one, or did he? Oh no, it's 85 something. My mistake. 85.75. So I don't think that worked. 85.75. So there's 85.75. So up here, so no, he'd have lost that trade. I'm really surprised he kind of fell for that one. He must know they kind of do that, but I don't know. Sometimes it'll still work, but I just see that happening all the time, and I just avoid it now. So he trades 8 contracts he's lost there on that. I'm surprised he'd take that, but what I will give credit to, he doesn't mind posting his losses. Took break even. Okay, good on him. So once it starts to go sideways, I think you've got a chance to get out there. So at least he didn't lose. That's the main thing. But I'm surprised he took it, to be fair, because this is a channel down. It looks like 2 legs, but it's more of a channel. So I'd expect a break and a new low, and then maybe to retest these. So let's just get this accurate. My chart is 5 ticks in the bar, top of the wick. Not even Mac would have got that one. Yeah. Would Mac have taken that one? You'd like to think he probably wouldn't. Because you've got to treat that as a channel down. And not only that, you don't see that. You don't see it break and push straight up like that from a break of a channel. If it does that, it's usually because there's a wider channel. And to me, the way it's touching there nicely and along the top, it's just a clear break. But what I do like about it is it did give you plenty of opportunities to change your mind. Once it starts to stack up like that, I think that's the time to get out of it. Get out for break even or +1 or whatever. Much better than taking a loss. I don't think it was a huge bar. No, it was pretty small. 2.25 maximum risk. So I prefer my corrections a little bit further apart. Wow. That's another one Marco trades, the CL crude oil. That was a beautiful little trade there. I did trade this for a short period of time. We all looked at it for a short period of time, but that is an absolute beauty. Two lovely little legs up in a bearish bar. You'd expect that to test the bottoms, but I might have to have a look at that when I get my other monitor. What monitor are you getting? I've got, just thinking, can I kind of show you? Let me just see if I can move this and show you. It tends to follow me. Oh, I can't now. I've got, tell you what I can do. I'll probably show you one of them if I adjust it. Let's have a look. No, other way. You might be able to see one of them. Right, you see the curve one there. It's is it Kurai? The make, it's a 1080p 34-inch curved one. I like it. So I did order two, but the one just never turned up. So I got a second one coming later to sit on top. And then I've just got, as you can see, this one over here, the one to the side there. It's just my older 27-inch one, which I've got me sort of what's it on. But it's nice. Pretty reasonable as well. I think it was about £250, £260. I can't talk. I should brighten up in a minute, but I had to get used to it. It did take a little bit of getting used to because I'm just trying to think, is the channel curving that I'm putting? You know, it's weird, isn't it? Okay, we got two legs back and a bullish bar here. Now, I've got caught out a couple of times on these. I don't think it's a terrible correction. Is it going to continue up? You're welcome, mate. I'm just sitting tight. I would prefer that type of thing, more like sideways than just that. Because I've been caught out a couple of times. There's always that possibility that we're looking at something like this. As we've had already had a break and made a few little attempts, and then we had that failure, didn't we? So I'm going to avoid a long here at the moment. Because we broke those highs as well. So it's just hard to know at the moment. We could range a little bit here, in which case it could come down, but who knows? There is liquidity sat here. So it may work, but I'm just going to sit tight. Maybe a higher low might be a better option or a safer bet. It's not the worst correction. It may work. But as we've broken the overnight highs, I'm avoiding this, I think, unless we get a higher low. Oh, where's my thing gone? There it is. Let's just check everything's working
Order
as it
submitted.
should be. Perfect.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
Perfect.
Order
Sell.
canceled. Order
Market
submitted.
order, close.
Order canceled.
Buy.
Order
Market
submitted.
Beautiful.
Order
Love
canceled.
that, Jan. Great bit of kit, mate. What with that on the news? I don't know how I'd survive without you, mate. So it's holding, so it may work. What adds on? This is from our friend Jan, or Akitri, as you see him in the comments. And he developed this and the NewsGuard as well. So all this does is it stops you having to do this, right click, and then buy.
Order submitted.
It's just
Order
quick.
Canceled.
Click.
Order
We're up
submitted.
and ready. And then close.
Order
Everything's
canceled.
right here. So he developed this, and it's an add-on for NinjaTrader. Also, this is another thing that I love as well, the NewsGuard. And one of the things I love about it is put your fingers in your ears. Is the alarm. So I have that alarm, the blue one, set for 5 minutes. Ready. There you go. You can't miss that. It's big, bolded in your face, and there's the 2 minutes. You can obviously reset these. If you're a currency trader, you can pick whatever type of currency you want. You can change the fonts, the font size, all sorts of stuff. So it's a great bit of kit, that is. I'm trying to make the tool you need as donation where accept the trade copy. It is free, yeah, but he's got a donation thing here. So the beauty is if you give him a little donation from time to time, he's able to keep it for free rather than having to constantly pay for it. So or having it pay for it as a lump sum. But yeah, I've been looking for a bit of software like this for a long time, something with an alarm. The trouble is, I usually sort of put a little bit of text on there, high impact. But if you've got that written up here, your focus, your brain is zeroed in on this area. And I don't know how many times I've very nearly forgotten it, but if you're glued to this, when that big flashy thing comes up in the top left-hand corner, you can't miss it. Now, I don't have the audio switched on because I've got a microphone, so my audio's switched off. But for you guys who've got your volumes on, not only do you get a visual, you can either have visual, audio, or both. So you've only got to forget it once. And if you get into a trade or open up an order and you forget, we're having something like CPI and it shoots at 50 points, you may think it'll hit your 2.3 point stop, but that's not the case. The quicker the market moves, that 2 point stop could turn into a 5 point stop. So it could do your accounts a lot of damage. So I've been looking for something like that for a while. And obviously Jan's come up with something. So it's a tremendous amount of work involved in this, serious amount of lines of code. I don't know too much about programming, but he has told me a little bit of how much information and input you've got to insert to get this thing functioning. But it's a great. He also has in fact, see what I'll do. Let's get his website up. He also has a few other bits and pieces. So Trading Journal and a few other bits. I think he's got stuff which he's adding to this as well. So NewsGuard's the one I use. I don't use that so much. Fortunately, I have free use of TraderSync. But he's got some NinjaTrader tools as well. Easy Order, which is, you can see what I'm using now. Tells you a little bit about it there. It's let me have a look. I think there's a few other bits and pieces. Chart tools as well. So channel range, lines measured move. All sorts of bits and pieces. I'm not sure. Is this available yet down all these tools or not? this is something that's going to be useful. So he's a useful gentleman to be around. So that's his website there. Go take a look. But you know, for me personally, that one I would absolutely recommend. It's a lifesaver, that is. And also this is the one I'm using at the moment, and then I shall be playing around. Oh, they're all available. Excellent. I'll go and have a look at those later. But yeah, look into that. Some useful tools there. I'm really surprised no one's ever come out with something like this with a visual, an audible warning, because, you know, I've certainly got caught out the wrong side of the news and forgotten about it in the past. Fortunately, it was on an evaluation, so it did. The damage was minimal. But if you'd have been trading, if you'd have had an order open here, you know, for 20 accounts, and this thing decides to take a dump because of the news you've forgotten, it can really damage your accounts, can cause you a lot of loss. We don't want that. So exactly what happened earlier. Same scenario, 2 legs back, a little push up, and then it came down. So, as I've mentioned a few times, we got a little 2 legs there. Now, I've said this, I prefer my corrections a little bit further apart. So, same scenario, quite close together, can kind of be confused with a downtrend. That kind of looks like what's going on. Whereas if you get that type of a correction, which is more sideways, yeah, people trade you that. You see that thing, a little push. More sideways, that's more like a correction as opposed to a break, an attempt to make a new high, which failed. And I think I didn't want to go long there. Not only that, because we've broken the highs, you know, we could pull back into there's a possibly a range. But getting involved in there is just risky at the moment. As I found out there earlier on. It's not an easy day today. Volume's low, ATR's low. You know, we want a nice low ATR, but the beauty of it is when there's a lot of volatility, ATR goes up, so does the amount of trades. So, unfortunately, you can't really have one without the other, it seems. So, yeah, talking about that comment earlier, I don't really have a monetary target. I've heard so many experienced traders say over the last 3 or 4 years, you can only take what the market gives you or offers you. So, you know, I don't know if you were, you know, in some jobs you can work a bit harder or make more of an effort or focus a little bit more, and you may make a bit of money. But the trouble is, most of us have got very close to a payment, and instead of letting it happen organically, or let's take a quick risky trade to try and hit me target so I can get a payment. How many people have done that? I know I have a bunch of times, and you end up blowing the account. So you squeeze in a trade to try and hit a target, whether it's, you know, monetary or whatever. It doesn't work. But maybe visual signal to works on any platform. It's definitely useful, definitely. But yeah, so I tend to avoid any type of monetary targets because it can get you in a little bit of trouble trying to hit targets. So the best way is just to sit, wait for a trade. If you hit your target and you can take a payment, But you know, don't try and stick your neck out and take a risk just to try and push yourself over the line, because those are the ones that you blow that hurt the most, I assure you. I mean, really, you could kind of argue we got a channel there with a break. It's hard to say. It's not It's not the best channel to read that. Very similar to what happened here. 2 legs down, trap some longs, came down. 2 legs down, trap some longs, came down. Got a down trend, 3 touches. Yeah, I think you're probably right there. Yeah. So, you know, whether that channel we've had an attempt at a push up. I mean, we've just broken new highs, so you know, you may find there's sellers up here slowly moving this thing down. It's not the best looking thing today, but we may just really be having some form of a range day, whether it's, I mean, if we get down and bounce here, it just kind of looks rangy, doesn't it? But I think while we're in this channel, a second entry short here wouldn't be a bad option.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
It's so sedentary, isn't it, compared to what it's been like? I mean, yesterday died off. I think last week, I mean, look at these massive big swings, and it's been doing this for days. You know, high ATR, great big sweeping movements. You know, we had that one little trend, when I say little trend, you know, pushed down 70 odd points, and then literally we had a bounce and then up 70 odd points. So it's been really swinging and a lot more than that. But it just seems to, we had that gap up. Was that overnight? That was yesterday, wasn't it? Which was still to fill, actually. So that's around about 740. I can't see us getting anywhere near that today. So at the moment, this kind of looks rangy to me. What I will say is there's definitely going to be liquidity around this area. So if we can get a second entry short, there is scope to come down. We kind of did the same, didn't we? Then we had the break, 2 pushes, and then a retest. So whether you'd argue that, you know, we're all part of the same thing there, that may be the case. There's the break, 2 pushes, 2 new low. So I would probably argue that would be a little bit better. Maybe. You can give the alarm twice. Yeah, I noticed that. That's not a problem. Sometimes that extra reminder. What I'd like it to do is the last minute, maybe, just to actually stay on the screen as red, leading up a minute leading up to it. I'd like that. That's the type of glitch I'd like. So just to have that red, you know, icon on the screen just during that last minute. I don't want to. I don't give you extra homework there, Jan, but that would be useful. I used to get the itch just to want to jump into a trade. I don't anymore. I generally thought patience would be the one thing that will stop me from being a trader, and it seems like it's just gone from my nemesis to my strength. Now I can make it turn on the computer last minute too. That would be nice though, just to have it in red there, just for the last minute. Doesn't no sound, just visually stay on the screen, just for the last minute. You know, that's that kind of crucial time. You can't emphasize enough, really. If you accidentally get into a big move on the news, it can destroy you, can't it? Or like the whole screen go red and shudder. just something to give you a kick up the backside. Some sort of electrical pulse that goes through the mouse. There's no end to what you could do, John. I mean, you're giving the guy months worth of overtime there. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you're a trader for a while, you know, we all have these little ideas. Oh, I could do one of those, or I could do one of those. There's always something going on with my brain. He'd have a full-time job if he'd listened to every idea I had. Just all these little extra tools, though, just make life a bit easier, a little bit less stressful, just in case, because you've only got to make a mistake once, and it can be severely costly. I mean, you know, I have Guardian Angel traders set that I can't take a trade between a specific time. You know, I dare say in the future, Guardian Angel trader will come with a news button that it stops you trading 1 minute before the news and won't allow you to trade to 1 minute after, or something like that. Or won't allow you to get into a trade, rather. So I dare say there's all sorts of bits and pieces that will make these bits of software better. I've got to say, Guardian Angel Trader, from a trader's point of view, is probably the best bit of software I've ever come across. Purely just to stop you, you know, doing something to get out of a habit. He's probably gone now. With us coming out with all these ideas, he's probably switched off and done a runner. Oh, it's a bit it's one of these tricky charts today that doesn't kind of do what you'd expect. We had kind of a nice correction there, and you'd expect test size, and it didn't. Same there. It wasn't the worst in the world. It did move a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it shows you profits. Ah, I like it. Oh, so you went long there, did you? Back up to the, yeah. So it shows you profits and ticks. I like that, mate. Nice. You can download that from your website, Jan, can you? I'll have a look at that later. So Jan's just sent me a picture of the trade marker, which shows you how many ticks you take, shows you the entry and the exit point. I like that. Much better than that rubbish we've got at the moment that doesn't even work. This, was it plot and execution stuff? I mean, one for one, it's not working. Sometimes you've got to stretch the damn thing out like this to try and work out what the hell you've done. But you've done it nice and straightforward. You've done what Ninja Trader that have been around for God knows how long have failed to do. They should be offering you a job, mate. I wonder how things will change now they're owned by Kraken. 5.3, there was a glitch with multiple connections on there. Later today, excellent. I'm going to be on my computer tonight. I got to set up my new monitor. That's assuming it comes. And then I've got to do some cable management. Got stuff dangling everywhere below this desk at the moment. I didn't want to do any type of cable ties without getting everything in place. We'll be applying past the main coins when Kraken takes. Could have the Mac coin, can't we? The Mac Daddy coin. Crypto hasn't been quite the same this season so far, has it? It's been a little bit odd. I'm really surprised how Ethereum's just gone nowhere. What's Ethereum at the moment? Now, it's still kind of early days. You know, in another 6 months, we could be looking at $180,000 Bitcoin, $5,000 Ethereum, $600 Solana. You never know, do you? Although Bitcoin is pushing a bit, it's just under 88,000. But Ethereum surprised me. It's just over $2,000. So in the last year, Ethereum's down 42%. In the last 12 months. 90 days down 40%, 30 days down 25%. So it's done nothing, Ethereum. Perhaps it's a sleeping giant. Mind you, with the stuff in Ukraine and the stuff with the tariffs and all the other bits of good news that are going on in the world at the moment, it's probably no wonder we haven't had the best bull run. But you never know. I know there's talks about a temporary ceasefire in Ukraine. I think isn't there a temporary ceasefire in Israel and Gaza? I think so. Hopefully, if we can get some sort of ceasefire and try and get back towards peace and away from all the fighting. Fighting never really did anybody any good. It still blows my mind how one person treats another, one human being, treats a different one. I mean, we're all made of the same stuff. We're all in the same big bowl floating around in the middle of nowhere. It still blows my mind how worthless life is in some places. Volume collapse on MSTR. I know. It's crazy, isn't it, really? You know, we go on about our children are kids, they fall out. Adults are grown up. They couldn't have been further from the truth. You're exactly right, mate. I got to say, a friend of mine gave me, and it annoyed me actually, he gave me a video maybe 15 years ago, something like that. It was around the second part of the Iraq War, and he went, watch it. And it was what the it was a video on how they were treating hostages, and they were just you know, when you start watching someone and think, I remember saying to my mate, why did you give me this? There was people getting decapitated and killed in there. And, you know, when you twitch someone, you wish you hadn't have done it. It blew my mind. I think the Iraqi soldiers were taking prisoners. They were Jewish prisoners or what, but there were some young kids, and I don't even need to go into what they were doing, but I remember giving it back to my mate and saying, you shouldn't have said, why would I want to watch this? And it's just always amazed me how one human being can treat another one, you know, how low civilization in parts of the world can go. You know, it blows my mind, it really does. I mean, you think people acted like that 500 years ago. Not the case. I don't watch news the other day. I saw a new attack on Palestine. Yeah, it's always the kids that get the brunt of it, isn't it? I mean, if adults want to fight, go off by yourself and do your stuff, but they drag kids into it. The older generation, it's the kids that I feel sorry for. A lot of these kids grew up in Warton. You know, I think that adults should be ashamed of themselves in a lot of cases. They shouldn't. You know, what sort of example are you setting for the younger generation if all you do is fight each other? It just fries my brain. It really does. Some people don't deserve to have kids, do they? Yeah, it does. Crazy, isn't it? We may end up getting a dry day today. It's such a hard trading day, I think. There's nothing I can really see. I mean, the obvious one to buy off this area, you know, somewhere around here, just for the simple fact that it's, you know, it's quite a strong move off the entry point, but there's nothing really. I mean, there's very little volume. We've gone up, down, and that's it. I don't quite know what causes volume to just die off like that. I mean, it's been crazy lately, isn't it? All of a sudden, it's just like everyone's taking the day off or week off. I can't see any trades that I would have taken. No, not really. So Dan has put that like that. I think that's initially where I had it. That actually looks like it's fitting the midline okay, doesn't it? Russian losses, 27 million. Civilians, 27 million people lost their lives. Have we not learned anything by now? 27 million people. You can't fathom that, can you? It's shocking, isn't it, when you actually sit and think about that. 27 million people. That's about a third of the people living in the whole of the UK. It's crazy, that is. Died, killed, laying, rotting on a battlefield. Men have got a lot to answer for, haven't they? Certainly some men anyway. Trouble is, a lot of the time you think we're living in a Western society that, your government's the best, they do things the right way. We wouldn't entertain, getting involved in things like that. But, I remember there was a big kickoff with the Iraq War with Tony Blair. People going into fight. No, Tony Blair's not a very popular person in this country, certainly with ex-service people. It's crazy, isn't it? It really is. Middle East. Do you know, it's strange. I've thought a lot about this. And I remember when I was at school, we used to do a subject called RE, religious. Now, I've never really been religious, purely and simply because I'm kind of a skeptic. I like to see things before I believe. I like to think there's somewhere else we go where I'm going to see my family. I hope there is. But I always thought that people who were really religious were the most peaceful people on the planet. It's actually, in a lot of cases, the complete opposite. If you look at a lot of the Middle East. Now, I don't want to, if I'm offending anybody or I'm talking out to, please say. But lots of places in the Middle East who are very religious tend to fight a lot. I mean, even if we're looking at places in, in Western sides, like Northern Ireland, Catholics and Protestants were popping each other for years. But it just seems sometimes, religion plays such a big part of a lot of people that are fighting, I always thought people which were heavily religious were amongst the most people. It's just not the case. I'm not saying all religious people like that, and it's a very, very small number, but wherever you think very religious people, sometimes there's a lot of unrest there. But, men have got a lot to answer for. It always seems to be, I remember my stepdad, he's not with us anymore. He was over in Northern Ireland. He did something like, 12 tours of Northern Ireland. And my dad was killed in Northern Ireland. He was serving in the British Army when they kind of went over there in the early days. I think it was the early 70s. I was a young toddler at the time. I was about 3. It just kind of shows, how religion and beliefs can play a massive part. Yeah, people just want to fight. I know, it's crazy. No, I remember my stepdad wouldn't talk much about it, but I remember I was having a beer with him once. I was about 19. It was a couple of days before he died. A couple of years before he died. He said to me they were on patrol in Armagh in Northern Ireland, and they found a body. I think it was Catholics killed Protestant. They found this body in an alleyway. He'd had his fingernails and his toenails pulled out. He'd had his throat cut. I apologise if I'm talking anyone's dinner. They stopped counting when they got to 100 stab wounds. It's horrendous. It was horrendous. To hear something like that. I think you need to hear something like that. You can hide away from a certain amount of things, but like vinegar and chips, absolutely. But it's terrible, really, how people treat each other. It really is. It does make you wonder what kind of world we're leaving to our younger people. It's the families that suffer as well. I went without a father. My mum lost her husband. You know, my auntie lost a brother, so it affects so many other people. Cheese and pickle sandwiches. You've never lived until you've eaten a cheese and pickle sandwich, in my opinion. I'm a fan of the cheese and pickle sandwich. Branston pickle. Are we going to have a leg and a leg up? I have a feeling we may have a dry day today. The market's moving so damn slowly. It's almost gone to sleep. It's like everyone's gone on holiday. Amazing. Well, cheese has got that really nice kind of saltiness, and pickle it's kind of made up of onions and maybe a little bit of apple, and it's got a little bit of vinegar and it's got some sugar, and it's kind of like sweet and a little bit crunchy, and it just goes lovely. Sweet goes lovely with cheese. You've never lived. I can't believe you've got the cheek to come on my stream and tell me you've never eaten a cheese and pickle sandwich. I forget how different you US guys are to us. You tend to think in the Western society everyone eats cheese and pickle sandwich and fish and chips. It's surprising that's not the case. See, we call crisps, Chris. You call crisps the snacky crisp chips. You're wrong. We're right. You can't tell us we're wrong. We're English. We speak the language. We invented it. You don't like pickles. I used to hate pickles. It's like olives. I used to hate olives. I love them now. I think for me, olives was about the texture. Something about the texture. I went out for a meal once with my wife and some friends, and I'd had a few beers. And it was, I think it was it a Spanish tapas, and they had them on the table. And I remember just having a go at a couple, and then I've not stopped eating them since. But I'm a fan of the paella. I've got a massive paella fan pan. And I started doing it the right way by putting green beans or runner beans in. Oh, it completely changes it. This is not an easy day. It's slow and boring. Okay, so we've got a channel with a break. We need to get up here and bounce off the EMA. Channel break, push up, big bearish bar. I like that. But are we going to get it? I'm hoping it doesn't seem like it. There's kind of a relatively bearish bar there. I was kind of hoping that would trigger and push up. But it's frustrating. We just get up to that midline and that's it. Nowhere anywhere near Ugh. Bella's dishwater. You're not wrong, Tony. Uh, hmm. I'm hoping we get a couple of legs up here and something nice and bearish here. So, what do I think about this type of channel? It looks terrible. It is slow and boring, isn't it? At least I know the ATR's been a lot higher, but at least trading's been a little bit more lively. It's almost just like someone's flicked a switch and it stopped. I mean, I missed COVID. I wasn't trading during COVID. I think I learnt the back end of COVID. So I do believe COVID produced some good trading. I'm guessing ATR was higher. So it does seem to be there is a trade-off. You know, when you get more liquidity and more trades, is that the ATRs. But if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't bear much of a problem. One from Flora, so cheese and pickle sandwich is bizarre. Give them a try, yeah. Pickle, it's nice because it's got that kind of vinegary sweet flavour. And that goes nice with cheese. Sweet and savoury go together, don't they? Same sort of thing, really. Well, I mean, you American guys, are the king of sweet and savoury peanut butter and jam or peanut butter and jelly. You've got that salty and savoury, exactly the same as the cheese, and you've got the sweet, the jam. Jam is more or less what pickle is, or chutney. It's the same sort of flavour, but just what you kind of put in it. So I'm going to just bring a limit order up here just to see if we can push up a little bit more and get a bearish bar there. I'd have a go at that. I'd like it to push up, maybe stop out. Yeah, I mean, two legs up. It's a little bit far from that EMA for my liking. But it is two legs up nonetheless. I love jam and peanut butter, I do, or jelly as you call it. I think that's lovely on toast. We need to get a little bit higher. A little bit higher, a little bit more. There we go. Now close, push up a little bit more, and then give us a bearish bar. That would be the perfect close. Now bearish bar just to trigger. Trouble is we've got a little channel now, so Now that is a correction. That is more like a channel. Unfortunately, I can't really take a bearish bar because we got a channel there. So it may trigger it and push up a little bit. But it may work. It is 2 legs up. But do I really want to get into 11 ticks? If you had a higher low here, it'd be worth taking. I'm just going to sit
Order
tight. It may
cancelled.
work, but for me, we got a little channel there. But it is 2 legs. If we go lower high here or triple test, that might give us another option. Now, it depends how you see this channel. You could argue there's an overshoot, in which case we could make an attempt at lower and push up. But it fits along the midline, not too bad. So I'd argue as to say maybe it isn't. So I dare say it's probably going to stop that out. Well, there you go. Trouble is, it's close to the lows now, so I wouldn't take that now. No space left, depending on where it falls to. If it does go straight down, I mean, there's barely a point. Not now, there isn't. Trouble is, you have got a lower high there, but we're at the lows already. We're actually at the lows. You get a triple test up here, push up, touch this, come down bearish, then that may take us down for a possible second leg. I mean, we could just have a leg down and this, and then down we come some more. 16 ticks, we're at the low, so you've got to wait for something up here, I'd say. My monitor may be here. So, Dan has changed his chart to that. That actually doesn't look that bad, does it? In which case, that didn't seem too bad. See if we can get a breakout pullback. Maybe not. Hey, this could be a triple test. See what happens here if we end up getting a big bearish bar here. Hmm. So maybe channel with a break. We push up, get a triple test up here. Be nice, wouldn't it, Wilson? Channel down, 1, 2, 3 attempts, hopefully. Second channel down, take us down to these lows now. Wouldn't that be nice? I doubt it'll happen though. One, I'm not that lucky. Yeah. Channel down, 1, 2, 3 attempts, and then a drop down to these lows. Wouldn't that be nice? God, this is so slow, isn't it? I might have to go and watch some paint dry this afternoon. See if I can make my life a little bit more exciting. That's a shame. That's the beauty about having a second 2000 tick chart. We may have got a bearish bar there, but luck, we push up 1, 2, 3 times. If we'd have had a bearish bar like that on my second chart, we may have been in it for some points. Yeah, it does make you tired sometimes, this, because it's so slow. I didn't have a very good night's sleep last night. I was up about 3 o'clock for an hour or so. Just couldn't sleep. Just woke up wide awake. Some of it tired. I'm going to finish soon. How long have we been going for? Just over 3 hours. Okay, I'm done for the day, folks. I'm bored out my arse here. It's just going to be one of those dry days today. It does happen from time to time. Volatility has dropped off and it has really slowed down. So there you go. So I can't believe that's all the volume we've had. It's very low, isn't it? So I'm done for the day. What day is it? Tuesday, isn't it? So yeah, it's still early. We've still got 3 days of the week. So if you count on trading, best of luck. You're welcome, Neil, anytime. So good luck if you keep trading. Hopefully you'll get something, but it's just so slow, isn't it? The dog's licking the hell out of me. So you're welcome, buddy. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow, Karina. So have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll catch up again, and hopefully we'll have a better day tomorrow. Bye for now.